This is Up for Debate, episode number 306, recorded January 30th, 2026. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Up for Debate, the debate podcast with two of us, Grant Everything. I'm Sean Jennings, joined as always, you've heard of Bad Bunny. We call him a good rabbit. It's Matt Mariani. Hello, Matt. Good evening.
Is there a difference between a rabbit and a bunny?
Oh, that's just a good.
Like one of
Is
those things?
there a difference between
Off to
a
Google already.
bunny and
Speaking
a
of Google, I got a great
rabbit?
treat. I got a great treat for everybody. I think we'll start the show with this little treat. Sean, you don't even know what the treat is, but
No,
it does
no,
have
I
something
love
to
when
do
you
with
spring treats on me.
But I want to hear the answer first. What is the consensus?
They're the same thing. There is absolutely no difference.
Same thing. Cool beans. So yeah, we got this is our Super Bowl prop bets. And you already invoked Bad Bunny. So we already started talking about music and the Super Bowl.
That's right.
And I figured, Sean, we're going to start a new tradition on this here show. You ready for this?
Oh, Lord. We already have enough traditions, Matt.
We do. We have a lot of traditions. We are a show steeped in tradition. We go back, like 12 years? How long have we been doing this for?
Longer than that. This is our 10th Super Bowl prop bets episode.
This is year 10 of making Super Bowl predictions. Okay.
Crazy.
So I figured why not add one more little coveted tradition. And I sat down and I prepared a musical tribute featuring with these two teams, the Seattle Seahawks and your New England Patriots. And then I sat and I stared at a blank screen for about 30 seconds. And then I said, it's 2026. Let's use ChatGPT instead of our brains. And so, Sean, what I did, are you familiar with the works of Hank Williams Jr.?
I am. Notable icon, legend.
Yeah. So he used to, back in the 90s and like early 2000s, I remember he did the Monday Night Football songs, right? There was
Are you ready for some football? It's a Monday night party.
Yes. So at first I went to ChatGPT. I said, hey, ChatGPT, my friend and I are doing a podcast. It would be really great if you could rewrite an old make a song in the style of Hank Williams Jr. How he used to do Monday Night Football songs back in the 90s and 2000s before he was canceled. Make a Super Bowl song for Super Bowl 60 in this style. And Sean, ChatGPT absolutely fumbled the bag. It made a terrible song.
Damn.
It featured players that are no longer on the team. At first it didn't feature any player specific or team specific lyrics. It was just like lyrics about football and about like weather. So I tried. I prompted it a couple times, and this is where I have to admit, I think Gemini has finally surpassed, because I asked Gemini once and Gemini knocked it out of the park. I went over to Google Gemini and I said the same thing, and Google Gemini said, I'm on it, and they delivered. So my question to you, Sean, which one do you think the viewers want to hear first at home? The terrible ChatGPT version or the vastly superior Gemini version?
No, you got to do the right one first.
The right one? Okay. The lyrics to the song, all my rowdy friends are here for Super Bowl 60. It's the title.
Okay, already it's
open with a high-pitched yeehaw, I'm finally back, followed by a heavy, distorted blues rock guitar riff and loud drum kick. Well, I've been waiting all year for this February day. The West Coast sun is shining on San Francisco Bay. We're at home of the
okay,
Niners.
But hang on, I gotta pause you already. That's
Okay.
already sounds a lot like the actual song, so that's actually pretty good. All right, keep going. Because he does,
Okay.
he does do. By the way, I have watched a bunch of old clips because every time he sang it for Monday Night Football, he changed the lyrics to fit the city, and he
Yeah.
would say things like "by San Francisco Bay." So you're keep going. This is great.
It's already fire. Okay. I've been waiting for a year for this February day. West Coast sun shining on San Francisco Bay. We're at the home of the Niners, but they're watching from the side because the Seahawks and the Patriots are here for one hell of a ride. Are you ready? Drum crash. I said,
I'm
are you
ready.
ready? Guitar slide.
I'm ready.
Are you ready for some football? A Super Sunday celebration. We got the whole world watching. It's the 60th edition. All my rowdy friends are here for Super Bowl 60. Over there is Sam Darnold. He's slinging it for the Hawks, looking for that second ring while the whole city of Seattle talks. But don't you count out Drake May and that New England crew. They're bringing that Foxborough fire, and they're coming straight for you. We got Bad Bunny at the half. It's going to be a Latin beat. But right now, it's 22 men knocking people off their feet. It's a rematch of 49, 10 years in the making. There's a Lombardi trophy here, and it's up for the taking. So kick it off, turn it up, let the party begin. I want to know right now, who's going to win? I said, are you ready? Let's go to the
I'm
field.
ready. Honestly, that I mean,
Yeah.
it's much more specific than a normal Monday Night Football theme. A lot of references, but you know what? Like, that's wholly plausible. Like, I would genuinely believe if like Hank Williams Jr. was singing that.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah. That's
100%. That's really good.
He even brings in the halftime act. I didn't even ask him to do that.
Yeah,
He
it was.
just
I
included
was
it.
waiting for him to like start reading off like, you know, San Francisco was founded in 1763. You know, no. It's just the cadence of it is really realistic because in the theme song he does talk in those like where you're like, you know, Darnold's here to get his second ring. Like, just it was great. That was actually really good. I'm very scared of what the other one is. I'll be honest.
Yeah, no. So the other one, I went through a couple of editions, and at first it made a pretty competent song, but I think it was confused about the teams, the Seahawks and the Patriots. It was giving me lyrics from the previous Super Bowl, the one with Brady. So
Yeah.
It's that one I tried to workshop. The best version of that song I got was well, it's been a long hard season from the rain in the Northwest to the cold New England winters where tough get put to the test. 2 coasts, 2 legacies, 2 ways to play the game. 1 Lombardi night, 1 Hall of Fame. Or one night of fame.
Yeah. No. This
It-
is
Up in Seattle, it's loud and mean. The 12th man shakes the ground. Quarterback dropping bombs downfield. See, that doesn't even rhyme. See, it loses the cadence. When the pocket's
Yeah.
breaking down, you got Wilson on the run, eyes still down the field, Metcalf breaking coverage. Yeah, that speed is real. It's like players that aren't even on the team anymore.
yeah. That's weak.
It's a little disappointing. Yeah, I'm glad we started with the Gemini. Clearly, the Gemini one was better.
Yeah, no, I Gemini was spot on. You got to get that that patter of the like, you know, so and so is here for a big time fight,
And
can't wait to watch football tonight. You know, you kind of got to get.
now in New England, it's iron and grit, built on work, not hype. A young quarterback named Drake May trying to write his type. You got Ramondre Stevenson pounding through, lowered his shoulder, no retreat. That's Patriots football meat. It's like, what is?
All right,
yeah, see, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's real bad.
No, you nailed it with the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I think we give it to Gemini on this one.
I think we do. Well, Matt, it sounds like you're very excited for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you know, I'm always excited for the Super Bowl. No matter who's a part of it, I always enjoy it.
Sure.
It's
The
it's a
spectacle.
big night. I'm a big fan of the sport. It is the spectacle. It is its own narrative, right? These two teams coming in, Seahawks and the Patriots. They both have their own stories, right? Darnold. I love the whole thing with Darnold. He went from like the being the
Sure,
seeing ghosts guy, which was that was a game against the Patriots, right?
it
Where he was
was
getting like
back in the
wrecked
Jets days.
back in his Jets days, and he's got the chance to prove himself on the big stage against that team. On the other hand, you have a franchise that everybody basically cast aside to the trash heap after Brady left and Belichick left. It was kind of like, oh, where Patriots are in for another big rebuild. Like it's going to be decades before they're back, and they're back, and they proved everybody wrong every single step of the way. Every step of the way, people were saying that they're out, or that the schedule's too easy, or this team is finally gonna be the one that does them in, and it's never seems to be the case. So I think it's going to be an exciting game. I'm definitely into it. What are your thoughts as a native New Englander, lifelong native
That's
New
right.
Englander? What are your thoughts
That's
here?
right. From Baston. I think
Who I will, by the
well,
way, remind folks at home that you did abandon the team. You moved on and became a Los
Char-
Angeles Chargers fan, as I recall.
by rule, yes, as determined by Matt. Yeah, no, listen, I'm a fan of the league. I just hope for a good game. I mean, I think people need to lower their expectations a little bit simply because the Super Bowl tends to be a little bit slower of a game. But I again, we talk about this every single year we do this. The Super Bowl is about storylines, and I think you nailed it in that. And by the way, you didn't talk about Jackson Smith-Njigba's breakout, which has been huge. Talking about Mike Vrabel and his story of canning Gerard Mayo after 1 year, bringing in Vrabel, turning the franchise around. And even Mike McDonald's a great story on the Seahawks side. So, yeah, I think all around there's definitely plenty to talk about. I think this has been one of the more fun playoffs that I can remember, simply because there was no favorite. There was no, when you have playoffs without Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, the door's left wide open. And this is what the result is: Sam Darnold versus Drake May, right? Who thought that was going to happen? So either way, I think there's something we can all get excited for. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we're going to talk through what we think of the game as we go through our bets here. A lot of people seem to think one team is going to win over the other, but I can't wait to hear what your thoughts are. So, Matt, for those who you might be watching for the first time or haven't joined us for one of these prop bets before, if you haven't, this is our 10th year of doing it, which is crazy to believe. Prop bets 10. Each year, Matt and I go through about 11 to 13 bets, depending on the year. We make our predictions. We get points if we are right, and we keep track in our handy-dandy spreadsheet. Now, Matt, I like to remind everybody of the first 6 times we did this, you won 5 of them. But of the last 4, I've won 3 of them. Yes. So, including last year, where I won as well on a 9-7 victory. So
you've built your own dynasty.
I'm trying, but listen, it's not much of a dynasty if you take it this year. So are you feeling confident? Are you going to do anything different with your picks this year?
It's funny with a lot of my picks, I can never really remember what I did in the past, and it just like kind of lines up sometimes that I call out like heads a lot, or I say a certain color Gatorade is going to get poured. I don't really have like a method. I kind of wish I did. I wish I had like a routine, like a thing that I always like. That I'm always going to call that thing, but it's really just vibes based. It's really just like very much in the moment. My calls, my props, very much in the moment. My favorite thing that we do, by the way, I always look forward to like the special prop bets, the ones that are like unique to this Super Bowl. Like one of my favorite ones we did was Belichick's hoodie. Like will he or won't he wear a hoodie on the sideline? Or will it be sleeveless? Like that kind of stuff that's like specific to this Super Bowl, like that's special for like this year. And that's
I'm
disappointed.
Cool. I'm disappointed you said that, Matt, because we don't have any of those this year.
There really wasn't. I mean,
No,
like, just given the two
well-
teams that are playing, I don't really know.
Well,
There
that's
isn't
not
like a
the reason.
Belichick type.
The
What?
reason is because we're recording this earlier than we normally do. So bets don't
Oh.
start going live until 5 days before the game. I unfortunately have a work event all next week. We're
Yeah.
recording this early. The bets just aren't available yet. They will
Sure.
come out. We're just a little ahead of the game. So they're a little vaguer this year than they normally would be. But nonetheless, I think we got some great ones in here. Like I said, some we haven't done before, Matt. Why don't we dig in? We've got a handful of ones we've done every single year for the last 10 years, starting, of course, with maybe the most important bet, the coin toss. I always let you pick first. Matt, what do you think the coin toss is going to be this year?
Well, before I pick the coin toss, I also want to say one of my other favorite things that I hope
Yes.
does continue this year, the Super Bowl, is you live tweeting. As
Well,
every
it's
bet.
basically I
It is
basically
my
live
one and
Slack only you.
Oh, wait, that's just I'm the only one that sees that.
You're the only
I'm
one
only-
who gets it.
Okay. I was gonna say that's my one and only, because I think you used to do it on Twitter, right? Or
I did do it on Twitter for a couple
Okay.
years, and then nobody's on Twitter anymore, so I kind of gave up.
so that was
I mean,
because
one of
that
these
was
years-
like probably the
go
only
ahead.
time in the entire year I would go on Twitter. It would be to look at
Yeah.
your at just your live updates, now you update them onto the Slack. So but I thought maybe you also did it on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter, so maybe I thought
No,
I thought
I
maybe it
sent
was
it to.
on-
I think I texted you it last year.
okay.
Matt, maybe we got to do a live simulcast one of these years where
Yeah.
we watch the game together.
I think so. We have seen a few Super Bowls together in the past. Well, one of the most memorable Super Bowls was that the Seahawks Denver Broncos beatdown, which I thought perhaps we were going to get another repeat of this year, but
I believe
was
we
not
also
meant to be.
watched the Lights Out 49ers Ravens Super
That's
Bowl
right.
as well.
49ers Ravens, yep. We saw we saw a few. At least one Giants Patriots in there.
The second one. Yeah, we
perhaps,
did.
so-
And I'm still
Yeah,
mad at you.
okay.
You guys were really mean to me. You guys really hurt
Yeah,
my
it was-
feelings. You guys were giving me
that
the
was a rough
business, and
night.
I did not appreciate
That was a rough night. Yeah, a rough night for Patriots fans, indeed. But
Listen, nobody knows
I think
how hard
all
it
the
is to
winning
be a New England
after must have
Patriots
made
fan.
up for it. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Yeah, it helped.
It's tough
It
out
helped.
there. But this Super
so
Bowl,
yes, Matt, I
I'm
will
picking,
text you the results.
I'm picking tails. I'm picking tails for the Super
Tails?
Bowl coin toss. I'm picking tails.
Interesting. You have a theory
There's
behind
absolutely no reason. I think I usually pick heads, and I want to break with
that?
tradition.
Well,
a
you
little bit here.
do. You do.
Like, historically,
but
I
you've
feel like
picked- you
heads is
have
the
picked
call.
tails before,
Yeah,
so it's
You
not
got
that
the
it's never
numbers?
been done.
You
I
got
do. I
the
have.
spreadsheet.
Yeah, going back here, the 3 times you picked tails, you won in 17, 19, and 20, and then you won with heads in 21, 22, and 24.
Interesting.
So it's a coin flip, Matt.
Tails
It's
never
50-50. I don't
fails.
think it matters what you pick.
Tails never fails. That's just what I'm feeling. That's just what I'm feeling right now. I was going to
Well,
ask Gemini,
I picked
but-
tails last year and it won. And I will say that our margin is usually 2 points, give or take. So every one of these really counts. It's rarely a blowout. Now we also do regularly which team wins the coin toss.
Okay. Are you picking that or me?
Yeah, I'll pick for. I'm gonna take
Yeah,
the
you pick that one.
Patriots.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the Patriots. I think I don't have a reason why I think that. I think I tried to find out, like, did New England win more when they were in the Super Bowl, more coin flips in the Super Bowl? But turns out that was a bunch of work to do, so I just didn't. So I'm just gonna say the Patriots.
Yeah. I think so I should have looked this up before the show, but who gets the call? Who's the away team?
That's a good
I
question.
think it's Seattle. I think technically it's just because all the marketing puts the Seahawks
No.
first on the left, which is where the away team usually goes. But I don't know.
Yeah. Seahawks are away, Patriots are home.
Technically away. Yeah. So then the Seahawks would get the call. but they could lose. So your bet is that they will lose the toss.
No, we're betting on who wins the toss.
Yes.
So I'm saying the Patriots will win the toss.
Right. No, I'm saying that the Seahawks will call wrong. They will call the opposite, and the Patriots
Yes.
will win the
Yes.
toss. Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's right.
Yes. Cool. Okay. All right. So your best case scenario so far would be that the Seahawks call tails and that it's heads, because then you win both bets.
That's right.
You pick up both. Steps.
That's right. Because Patriots use their heads. See what I'm
That's
doing
right.
there?
That's why their logo is a guy's head.
That's right. Where a Seahawk has a tail.
Tail. Exactly.
Think about it.
Exactly.
Now, what about you, Matt? Are you also going to take the Patriots, or you can take the Seahawks? Last year, we both took the same team.
Am I allowed to do that? I guess I'm allowed to do that, right?
Yeah,
I'm going to take
sure.
the opposite.
You're allowed to do anything.
I'm going to say the Seahawks win the toss.
All right, I like it. Chalk one up for the Hawks.
Let's do it.
Now, maybe the most famous prop bet, is length of the national anthem. Been around for a long time. A real bet. We do it every single year. Last year we both missed it, if you remember. It was John Batiste. We both took the over, and it ended up being the under. This year it's Charlie Puth, who I know you're a big fan of, Matt. Always listening to his records. Puth.
Yeah,
Isn't that how you say it?
Puth head. That's right.
I don't know. You're a real Charlie fanatic.
A Puth.
Puth
Booth.
The line has been set at a clean. It's like 159.5. So it's really 2 minutes. Right at that 2 minute mark. Now, over the time we've done tracking of this statistic, 1, 2 have been over 2 minutes, and the rest have all been under. So, but every artist does it differently. So Matt, it's your turn to go first on this one. The over under at 2 minutes. So you can take the over or the under.
So Charlie Puth, he sounds like a country singer. Well, I know this is our logic every year.
Yeah, we try and get, really think about it. Really,
He always, because we're always like, oh, country singer, that must mean, he's gonna go long.
He's not a country singer. Do you know who Charlie Puth is?
Clearly, I don't, because I thought he was.
No, he does sound like it. Charlie is very much. No, he's like a young modern guy, contemporary pop,
like Michael Bublé.
Less classy. He's more of a collaborates with other people. His big song was Attention.
Okay,
if you remember that one.
No, I don't.
If you heard it, I think you would know it from it just being in things. A very weird choice for the anthem.
I'm just gonna say, if he's a modern guy, I'm probably gonna take the under. I'm really feeling the under on this one.
Okay, yeah. Interesting.
I'd like to take.
All right, Matt's gonna take the under. I'm gonna take the over. I think history is on my side with taking the over. But I don't know anything about this guy. And usually, like you said, sort of the more big voice singers tend to stretch it. He's not a big voice guy. So I could really see him chug through it. So I don't think under's a bad call. I'm going to go with history, though, and take the over. They usually tend to go over. So I'm happy with that. By the way, Kit Die in the chat, Migraine here. Hello. Well, hello, Migraine.
Hello, Migraine. At least it's Friday.
Now, Matt, next up, we have first play of the game. Somehow we've never done this one before, which really surprised me. And this is a real bet you can make. What is the first play of the game? Is it a run play, a pass play, an interception? There's a lot of different types of plays, right? You went first on the last one, so I guess it's my turn. Listen, you can play statistics. I think the obvious answer is run. Logically, that makes the most sense. But There is no but. I'm just going to take run because I really want the point. So, no, I do think run is the obvious. But listen, you get these teams, especially with Drake May and Vrabel. Like I said, I think they're going to win the coin. Well, they defer if they won the coin toss. But, yeah, I could certainly see them trying to pop something on him and think that first play is going to, they're going to think it's a run and they play something else, a little mind games. What do you think, Matt?
I mean, my first inclination is to agree. That it'll be a run, but you know what? How about I'm gonna get a little crazy here. I want to get crazy, but I also want to win. So my thinking,
Tough.
I was gonna say defensive touchdown. How crazy would that be?
On the first play. Well, that
Would that be
wasn't
would
that
be insane?
wasn't that Broncos Seahawks where the first play was a safety?
Yeah, and I think Giants Patriots also had a safety. I don't know if it was the first play, but it was the first score.
Yeah, that was
Brady got tackled in the end zone.
So you think it's going to be a defensive touchdown?
No, that's why I'm said I want to win. We're doing the first play. I thought you meant initially I thought it was the first points on the board.
No, no, it's literally the first play.
First play of the game. Okay. So
Which could be
you're going with the mindset that the Patriots will have the ball first. So you think a handoff?
No, I think either team could run. You want to start safe, low risk, get the ground game going.
I'm going to say incomplete pass.
Okay. Well, I'm going to write pass. I'll give it to you either way.
Pass or incomplete pass.
Okay. All right. I like it. I like the variety. Again, that's how you win.
I'm thinking Seahawks get the ball first, and I'm thinking that they want to establish the pass. They have their backup running back after Charbonnet tore his ACL, which, by the way, in my head, like the back of my mind, I'm coming up with all these other like mini props because I was talking about how and it's totally up to you if you want to include them or not. But I think an interesting mini prop would be Charbonnet is on the sideline in wearing his jersey or in street clothes.
So we've done this in the past. I think one year we did this where I made a deal with you where you could make any prediction you wanted. I don't care what it is, but the rule is if you get it right. So, by the way, in general, all these bets, if you get it wrong, there's no penalty, right? You just get a point or you get no points. Matt, I will let you predict anything you want. If it's correct, I'll give you 2 points, which is a lot. I mean, that could swing it. But if you're wrong, you're going to lose 1 point. I think losing 2 points would be kind of devastating. So it's a gamble. There is a penalty if you're incorrect.
Okay. So let's say we run this bet. This is Charbonnet on the sideline. I would say street clothes. I would say not.
Okay.
Oh, no, I don't know. It's the Super Bowl, man. It's the Super Bowl. He's
going to wear a tuxedo?
No, he's got to wear his jersey. Like, it's the Super Bowl. How are you going to just be in street clothes? You're part of the team. You're the RB1. I don't think he'll have like pads or anything, but I think he'll have his jersey. That's my bet. Or there's a very strong chance he just might not be on the sidelines at all. Like he might be watching.
He could just be up in the box
at home or something. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know if I really want to
think about it. You think about it, man. But my offer stands on it. Bring it on. What do you got?
Because I like those like bets that are unique to this game. And think about a bet that would speak to the heritage of these two teams playing each other in the big game. What better bet? Ball on the 1 yard line. Are the Seahawks going to run it in or pass?
So all right, here's the thing. I'll give you action. I feel like I'm the bookie, I'm the bookie of the show. I'll give you action. Seahawks within 5 yards of the goal line it's got to be, though, in the back half of the fourth quarter.
Yes.
If in the back half of the fourth quarter,
yeah,
they are 5 yards or less to the goal line. If they, I'm trying to think of how I want to structure this. If after, because the play was on wasn't it a third down? The famous interception was on
3rd and goal. Yeah.
If they pass, they can't pass on first down. I'm not going to give you that. But if they pass on 2nd or 3rd down and successfully score that touchdown, I'll give you 2 points. So let me say that again. Back half of the 4th quarter, Seahawks 5 or less yards to the goal line. On 2nd, 3rd, or 4th down, if they throw a touchdown, I'll give you 2 points.
Let's see. Yeah, all right. I'll take it.
He's nervous. He doesn't want to take my. You don't have to take the action.
Are we saying are we also saying though, if it doesn't happen, I lose the points? Or are we saying like
yes,
it happens?
That's exactly. You're going to lose a point if it doesn't happen.
I think if it happens and they
run, no, what I'm saying.
Run.
Oh, you want to bet that they run? Well, of course they're going to run. I'm not going to give you action on that.
No, because they passed last time, and look what happened. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. You're going to bet that they didn't learn their lesson.
They might not,
or they're doing it to like tell the world, like, "Fuck you, it was right to pass originally."
Or they might, I don't know.
So I'll give you action if they pass. I'm not going to give you action if they run. No way.
So in that very specific scenario,
yes, if they don't reach near the end zone at the back of the 4th quarter, you won't learn any points. It's just if they're in that situation,
I won't lose.
If they're in that situation in that 2nd, 3rd, or 4th down, if they run, you lose a point. They only have to. I'll even give you 1 pass in either of those downs. If they pass it even once successfully, I will give you 2 points.
No, I'm not saying they're going to pass. I'm saying they're going to run. They're going to learn.
No, I want you to bet on it passing. It's boring if you bet on it running.
It is interesting. I don't know. You know what? Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take the bet.
You sure? I'm not.
I'll take the action. Listen, I think no. I think it. Does it have to be in a game preserving situation? Like, is it like
no? If it's a blowout, it still counts.
It still
counts.
If it's a blowout,
I'll take it.
I'll take the action.
All right. So it's
I mean, I think that'd be interesting.
Cool. Line.
Stick to that.
Final 7 minutes. This is really elaborate. And it's a 2nd, 3rd, or 4th down pass. Successful pass.
See, King Charles has joined us.
Yeah, man. He wants to get on the action.
Yeah, he does. Look, he's excited.
Well, he's orange. He doesn't know what team to root for. So,
I mean, if the Broncos, it would be an easy choice.
That's his team. That's his team. But
he's a big Denver fan. Big Bo. Bo Nix.
All right, Matt. I got another one. You can gamble on this one in a way, because if depending on what you say, will there be a kickoff or punt returned for a touchdown? Now, the reason I included this one is because in 2025 they changed the kickoff rules and the punt rules to encourage returns. Well, returns, I'm fudging the numbers a little bit, but they're close. Something like 30% in 2024 got ran versus, say, taking a knee or fair catch, whereas it was like 70+% this year got ran back. And they set a new record for touchdown returns in 2025. The question is, will that continue into the Super Bowl? Now, this is one of those interesting gamble ones because you have to pick yes or no. Mm-hmm. You can't just say yes or not happen. And so you'll get a point if it doesn't happen versus a point if it does. So an interesting choice, Matt. What do you think?
Sean, I'm going to take this bet.
You're going to say yes.
Yeah, because this is actually one of the props that I actually do plan on looking at closely is Rashid Shaheed of the Seattle Seahawks.
The man, the legend.
He ran back. I think I just saw the stat today. It was he had a touchdown one of the playoff games, I believe, against the 49ers. I think it was the very first play of the game. Was it kickoff? He ran back for a touchdown. Yep. But aside from that, his previous 4 kickoff returns in the playoffs. His four kickoff returns in the playoffs, they like 3 of them were returned for like mega yards. Like even if it wasn't like touchdown scoring. Seattle is a very good special teams, which I think is gonna help them a lot in this Super Bowl. And I think if any team could get it done, it could be them. Could be the Patriots. It goes either way. I know it's a long shot, but this is a long shot that I'm okay with taking. And I think specifically the one I'm looking at is Shaheed to make that return. He's just amazing at what he does. I don't really know specifically how New England stacks up on with their special teams. Um, but I'm hoping he'll be the one to do it. So give me Shaheed, touchdown return, punt or kickoff.
Yeah, I think if there's one to gamble on, I think it's smart. I totally agree with you. He's one of the best return men in the league. And it hasn't happened a lot in Super Bowl history, but if there ever was a game for a big moment, this would definitely be it, especially for an inexperienced Patriots team going against him on defense. So I love it. I'm going to take no, just to be the opposite, but I do think it was it's not a bad yes.
I would also maybe, you know, I think a gamble like that levies a certain amount of risk. I would say perhaps that one should be worth maybe 2 points. What do you think about that?
All right, I'll make you a deal. I'll give you another point. So if it happens, you'll get 1 point, and I'll give you a bonus point if it's specifically Shaheed.
Shaheed. Okay. I like
All
that.
right.
I'll take it. I'll take the action.
Now, I also will point out that I got in big trouble in a past one of these
Uh-oh.
because I did this same stupid thing where I'm like, yeah, I'll give you an extra point, Matt. And I think that was like the reason I lost that year. I forget what the bet was, but there was one where I'm like, yeah, it'll never, or whatever. It's so specific. Matt gets a bonus point, and it was very stupid of me. So maybe I'll go to regret this.
Yeah. You know, crazier things have happened.
I guess.
That's what it's all about, though. Pursuing the
All right, Matt.
chaos.
Our next one here, again, none of these are really game specific, but how many times do the coaches go for it on 4th down? This is another big trend in the league this year. Coaches increasingly risky. Dan Campbell did it so much it drove his team to lose. But coaches are more willing to go for it on 4th down. Now, I have done a little research, and I have set the over under at 2.5. I think because it's a Super Bowl, it's obviously not going to happen a ton. I think each coach, maybe goes for it once, and then that's kind of where your break line is. So over under 2.5 4th down plays. It's my turn to go first. And I'm going to take the under on this. I agree. Both coaches have done it. Mike Macdonald a lot, actually. But it is the Super Bowl. I think they tend to play more conservative. And also, from what I've seen in the Patriots' last couple of playoff games, they have these long 3rd downs. They're not getting close enough to go for it on 4th. It's been a consistent habit. So I'm going to take the under, Matt. What do you think on these 4th down plays?
Yeah, I have to move back into the conservative camp for this bet. I'm also going to take the under. I mean, famously, as you were saying, the coaches have tried it more. My first thought was over to the Broncos and what they did. Like that pretty much cost them the game. Sean Payton. See, that's the thing. Like, yeah, Payton he's known for his risky moves, and risky moves as a coach. They make you look like a genius when they pay off, like his onside kick with the Saints in the Super Bowl. But they really really hurt you when they don't pay out. And I just think in this particular scenario, I don't really see a reason for either team. Like I don't envision a situation where either team would be forced to go for it, like unless it's way late in the game and it's a blowout or something. I don't I don't know. Like you mentioned, a lot of the Patriots' third downs have been long, these playoffs.
Hmm.
I think with you're probably far more likely to see it with McDonald with the Seahawks, but um, I'm gonna still take the under. I don't think this happens really that much. I think both teams have great special teams,
Hmm.
and in terms of like punting, I think that they put their trust in them and that they'll get the ball back, force a 3 and out or something like that in good territory, force a turnover. Both teams have pretty good defenses. It's going to be a very defensive minded game, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and take the under on that.
All right, well, that was easy. How about this one, Matt? We actually did this one in the past. This is one I dug out of the archives back in 2021. I won this bet. Maybe we'll have a different result this time around. The number of accepted penalties. This is the total number of accepted penalties throughout the game. Again, I did some research on this one. I've set the over under at 11.5, which is about NFL average. In an average game. So you're going to be thinking, hey, it's a Super Bowl, right? Do the refs famously swallow the whistle, right? And throw less flags, or do you think because of the nature of these two teams, two very strong defenses, is there a risk for more holding or pass interference penalties with some of their aggressive play? You get to go first on this one. The over-under is at 11.5.
I think it's going to be a pretty clean fight. I think both of these teams haven't really gotten that many penalties. Oh, the big one that comes to mind, talking about like playoff specific, the Seahawks had that taunting penalty, which led almost immediately to a Rams touchdown. So I think they're going to be they're going to be a lot more disciplined. Um, they're most of the time the penalties we'll see a holding here and there. I think we'll see a pass interference. What was the line? What did you say? It was what was the
11.5.
11.5. Okay. So yeah, I'll go under on this one. I'll go under on this one. I think we won't see that many penalties here. This is not like the Eagles or the Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl. I think these two teams will be a lot more clean cut.
Well, it's interesting you say that. So when we did this back in 2021, that was the Super Bowl where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeated Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And in that game, I won by taking the over because there were 15 total penalties. Back then, I had set the line at 10.5. I got to go with what works. I'm going to take the over on this one. I don't know if I'm right. I mean, these aren't particularly heavily penalized teams, but there are a lot of rookie players, especially on the Patriots. And I'm curious, you get a lot of those sort of false start penalties are all amped up for the game. And when you have great receivers.
I was kind of going to say they're both young squads, especially the Patriots. And so, yeah, maybe and delay a game, that's still technically a penalty. And that, that I could see that they could see that also happening, especially with young players. And I think it's a good bet. I think here is really a toss up.
Well, and when you have an incredible receiver like Smith-Njigba, you gotta, you're gonna end up with some pass interference calls on him, just trying to cover him. He makes it possible. So I'm gonna take the over. 11.5 is kind of high. So if I really were putting real money on it, I'd probably agree with you. But I'll gamble. I got to gamble somewhere. I'm gonna gamble a little bit on this one. Take the over. All right, Matt. Last of the sort of game specific bets here. We also did this one in the past, and I really liked it. So I thought it would be fun to do again. We did this back in 2023. This assumes there is a missed field goal. If there is not a missed field goal, there's no points earned or lost. But if there is a missed field goal, how will it be missed? Will it go right? Will it go left? Or will it be short? Now, I will mention that when we did this back in 2023, which was the first Mahomes Hurts, Eagles, Chiefs Super Bowl. I said right, you said short. It was actually left. He missed it left, so neither of us got points.
Yeah, I don't know. That looking back, that was a dumb bet. You don't really see that many kicks come up short these days.
No, and I think I said on the episode, Matt, are you sure? And you're like, no, I think
I have no idea why I did that. Um, I think you get to pick first, right, for this one? I just picked.
Well, I'm happy to, Matt. Of course,
Yeah.
you know this. I know you know this fact. Seattle kicker Jason Myers, famous Marist College alumni.
Marist alum, that's right. Go Foxes.
That's right. So of course that means he'll never miss.
Right.
And Patriots have a rookie kicker, who they drafted this year, whose name I don't even know. And so Myers has not been great the last couple of games. So I think there is a decent shot for a missed field goal. I don't think it's crazy. It's not a dome in Santa Clara. Now, it's not particularly known as a windy stadium, but it is outdoors, technically. The weather should be good, but there's definitely a risk of a miss. The question is, does it go right or left? See, this is where I got to visualize it in my mind. I'm watching the game. He goes for the kick. He kicks, and it goes left. I'm taking left.
Okay. That is a fair fair bet. Jason Myers, I don't know. There's no science here.
No, it's all vibes based.
It's all vibes based. I'm gonna take right just because you said left. Sure. I think he misses
Okay.
wide right. Mm-hmm.
That's very fair. I'm thinking about
right. Now he's a righty kicker, I assume.
Well, I'm trying to look up what foot he kicks with, but there's no like good
righty kicker. I mean, it doesn't really. It really is all about where he strikes the ball.
Yeah.
I think right. Sure, we're just gonna say right.
Sure, you don't want to take short?
No, I don't think I'll ever take short. I don't. That was.
I don't even know the last.
Was not thinking.
Well, listen,
there.
It could be. Listen, if they ask him to make a 60-yard field goal, it could be short.
I know it could,
but
be.
No,
right,
I just don't.
I don't really envision that, especially with Seattle's offense.
All right. Well, listen, that's it for kind of the football bets. Let's get into the other important part of a Super Bowl, one we're noted experts on, the halftime performance.
Oh boy.
This year we've got quite an interesting artist headlining. Bad Bunny is going to be the Super Bowl halftime performer this year on the Apple Music halftime show. Now, Matt, it's tradition here on the show that we each make a set list. So we each pick 3 different songs that we think will be sung during the show. You get a point for each for a maximum of 3. The most impactful bets you're going to make tonight, because those 3 points can really swing it. We've had it end up 3-0, so could really matter to the winner. Before we get to that, though, Matt, what are your thoughts on the halftime show this year and Bad Bunny?
Sean, do you know the very first time I heard this Super Bowl performer announced? Do you know the first thought I had? Do you know what the first thought I had was?
What?
I thought to the future, to this exact moment, when you and I have to pick the Super Bowl halftime songs, and I thought, I don't know any Bad Bunny songs. I don't know, not a single one. I didn't even know who he was before they announced him as the, and I had so much time to do my homework, Sean, and I tell you, I did not. I still don't. I'm not really familiar with his work. And that's my thought. That's my thought about the Super Bowl halftime show, is like, I was dreading this moment where we have to choose. And I know you're a guy who likes to prepare. You're a very prepared guy. I can only assume this is probably where you turn the tables and defeat me. I think you're probably gonna make the strategic picks that you need to win this championship, in this upset. This is right here. This is my Waterloo.
Yeah,
and that's my thoughts.
Listen, Matt, last year I didn't know a single Kendrick Lamar song. And we tied 2-2 for the set list last year. So no, I did not know anything about. I knew Bad Bunny existed. I had seen the guy and knew he existed. I did listen to some of the songs before the show. I liked them, actually. They weren't bad. They're all in Spanish, but they sounded cool. Here's the thing, Matt. My high level opinion on this whole thing. I know everyone wants to make a controversy out of it. We've said this. I've said this forever. The most important thing in choosing a Super Bowl halftime performer is, are they interesting? I don't care if you pick the most popular person in the world. If they're boring, they don't make a good halftime show. Just ask Maroon 5. So, Bad Bunny, I don't care that his songs are in Spanish. I don't care that I don't know a single one of his songs. I think it's going to be a cool and fun show. I trust him to put on a damn spectacle. And that's what I want. And Kendrick Lamar, by the way, put on a pretty good show, even though I didn't know any of his music. So I'm actually kind of jazzed about it because I want someone to do something different. I want it to be weird and interesting. And the music sounds good. It's not like bad music. It's not. I was thinking about this in the shower earlier because I knew we were going to talk about this, and not to get all philosophical about the state of the world, but I'm kind of sick of this, like, all media has to be for me attitude. Be like, sometimes there are things that just aren't for you. Like, that's okay. Like, you don't have to be like happy with everything that's like, I don't want there to be a Paranormal Activity 8, but that's fine because it's something for somebody's watching them. So good for them. Why would I bitch and complain about it? It's just
So
simply
true.
not for me. Bad Bunny is not for me, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch a show. After the halftime, I'm never going to think of him again, and that's fine. I certainly
Yeah.
haven't thought about Kendrick Lamar since last year, so it's fine. It's great. It's going to be fun.
There is a whole lot of outrage about it that I just don't get. It's like I mean the sets are less than 15 minutes. It's like, you know, if you really don't want to watch it, you know, that maybe that's the time you clean up the snacks or something. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
But aren't you even like curious? That's what I'm getting. Like, it's the super. Like, I'm curious. Like, what is he going? Like, there
I'm
is
gonna
some
watch
element of mystery where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so you don't don't you at least want to see something different? You know what,
Sean,
like,
I've wanted to see something different since we talked about how one of the halftime shows was just an Indiana Jones stage play. I want variety like that. I will be excited for the day when the Super Bowl moves out of just artists performing a mini concert to like like an old like a variety show, like back in the days of who's that guy, Mysterio, the magician,
Elvis Presto.
Elvis Presto. Yeah.
Yes, Bebop Bamboozle. No, listen, we said we need narrative halftime shows.
Maybe
I
have
want
an
you to
old
tell
style,
a story.
Like, yeah, I was gonna say have like a vaudeville performance or like a kabuki theater. It's like, you know, just something that would be something wild and crazy and cool.
Maybe the Muppets put on a show.
Close to that. You know? Yeah.
I think it's I still think one of my because as is tradition before we do this episode, I watch old halftimes to get in the spirit, and I still think one of my favorite of all, well, two of my favorites of all time were The Weeknd, who went big with the spectacle and the sets and the whole. It was very dynamic to watch, and then the Coldplay Super Bowl 50 10 years ago, where it was the Bruno Mars, Beyonce, and they kind of go back and forth and kind of have a little thing going. Like, it's not just one person performing. There's like a story you're telling. And I think they could use more of that. I'm kind of hoping we get a little bit of that.
I think we remember with the NSYNC and wasn't that was the Janet Jackson Super Bowl. That was
that
right?
was that no, because that was Timberlake solo. NSYNC was Aerosmith and Britney Spears, like I think a year.
That was maybe the year before that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but it was, I mean, still, it was cool. It told a story.
It was.
Remember that?
Remember
the Janet Jackson one? That was.
You know, have you gone back and like rewatched that?
Yes, I have.
It's
like,
not that interesting.
Nothing there, but it sparked us. We were so naive. We were such a young, naive nation.
Well, we had to suffer through the next year of Paul McCartney sitting on a stool performing with an acoustic guitar. So
yeah, and then I mean, really, the next decade was just old white men for
old guys. Yes, thank you, Tom Petty. So Matt, we got to pick some songs. I'm sure you know all of Bad Bunny's biggest hits, so I'm going to let you go first. You're going to get the pleasure of going first. And we do it back and forth. So you'll pick one, then I'll pick one. Matt, what is going to be your first pick off the Bad Bunny halftime set list?
Sean, I got to go with Bad Bunny's #1 current hit that people are saying they're all the buzz about this song. It's Titi Me Pregunto.
Oh, yes, of course.
Don't ask me to sing
that was #1 on my list.
So, but that's what I'm going. I'm going to Titi Me Pregunto. #1.
Love it. No, that literally was #1 on my list. So good. I think it's a total slam dunk.
Now, Sean, my question
popular, huge hit.
Are you going to be able to identify when these songs are sung?
You know what's really funny is like you're saying it's for Bad Bunny. When Rihanna performed, I didn't know half the songs. So usually what happens is some nice person within 30 minutes of the performance posts the set list online somewhere and I find it. But I have a very hard time, unless they're like, like a Katy Perry or something where they're all pretty big hits. With Usher, there were like a bunch of songs where I'm like, I don't know what the hell this is. So no,
I remember it. I think it's happened more than once, but famously that Coldplay one, they sampled a lot of their songs, or they would do like, little bits of the song. And I remember like, going back and being like, oh, they did play like the first 3 bars of Lost, but they just didn't like, go full on into it. So it's a tricky one.
I am going to go with, of course, Me Porto Bonito. I think is it's catchy, it's danceable. I think this is really gets the crowd energy going. That's going to be my first pick.
Good pick.
Now, what about your second here?
My second pick here is, a lot of these artists do songs from their newer albums, like as a promotional piece. I think I got to go with one of his kind of newer songs, I think. I think it's been featured in a few trailers for the Super Bowl, actually. It's Baile Inolvidable. Baile?
Yeah, I think that's his latest song, isn't it?
Inolvidable. Yeah, that's one of his newer songs. So I think the combination of it being a new song, new album, and heavily used in promotions for the Super Bowl, to me, makes that one a winner. So that's the one I'm going to pick for my second pick.
Can you say the title again for me?
That would be Baile Inolvidable. Inolvidable.
Okay, just want to make sure I spelled that right. Okay. So, good one there. I think on mine, next up, I'm going to go with something a little more new era. Something with a little swagger. I'm going to go with Monaco. I think it's a good sort of dramatic opening song or something really to amp up, as you kind of die in that middle, kind of ramp that energy back up. It's been a pretty good hit for him. So I'm going to go with Monaco for my second. And now, Matt, you have your last song here. What do you think?
Traditionally, when we do these picks, I always save my last pick for a potential. So I guess maybe I do have traditions with these bettings. I try to save the last pick for a potential crossover or guest. And there's a lot of buzz around him bringing out Cardi B as his guest, as a guest performer with him. And I think they do a song and it's called I Like It. And I like it for my third pick.
Yeah, that's smart. Cardi B dating Stefon Diggs of the Patriots. So it does make a lot of sense she would be in the building. She's a big Patriots fan, so I love it. Good selection there. Lastly, I'm gonna go with I'm kind of between the two. I'm gonna go with DTMF, which is again one of his newer songs from late last year. Popular, and I think it has a very deep sort of emotional center to it that I think will take an opportunity to slow the events down a little bit. So that'll be my third choice. Now, I will have no idea what I'm listening to when I'm listening to it, but I will do my best to find a set list and find out if any of us are right. Again, big points here for whoever can do it. All right, Matt, we're at the end here with our last couple of bets. These are the big boys, and of course, our all-time favorite, the color of the Gatorade dumped on the winning coach. Now, this is one you've won it the last 2 years. You also won it oh no, I'm looking at the wrong line. Duh. I've gotten it right twice. You've gotten it right once, including 2 years ago. Last year it was yellow. Neither of us got it right. And we certainly missed it much more than we've hit it. So A tough gamble, but could make all the difference. Do you have any leading theories on the color of the Gatorade?
It seems like they're getting more and more like expected. I feel like we're moving towards like, you know, we're moving away from those variety colors that they used to use, and I don't know. We always we always get it wrong because we always think it's going to be the color that looks best with the team's jersey, or that it's
Yeah,
like
which it
a
never
logo,
is.
and it
It
never
never
is.
is.
That's never the case. We
No.
we kind of learned that from doing this show. We would always be like, "Oh, it's going to be orange for the Broncos," or "Yeah, no, clearly green for the Eagles." No, no. So, um, I think I think orange. I think I'm leaning. Well, I'm leaning. Yeah, I don't know. It's just in my head is yellow. You know what? Yellow, orange. So I'm gonna go yellow. Let me change it to yellow. That's stupid. It's probably gonna be orange, but I'm gonna change it to yellow. I'm gonna say yellow Gatorade. That yellow greenish one.
Well, it's interesting because this is one of the few bets, that Vegas already has out. So, like I talked about, a lot of bets aren't out yet. This one came out pretty early. And what's interesting is nobody agrees because Vegas will tell you orange is the most likely. The prediction markets think it's that yellow or green. And historically, blue is actually the most popular. Or at least
As
statistically
it
most
should be.
likely over the last over the last 10 years.
Sean, I don't know if I've ever asked you this. What is your preferred flavor of Gatorade?
Great question. A couple of things. One, I don't like Gatorade unless I am actively sweating and doing something. Otherwise, people who drink Gatorade just as a regular drink are gross. And I have a strong opinion about that. I would say, and it's got to be cold. It's got to be refrigerated.
Yeah,
I think
of
room
course.
temperature Gatorade is gross.
I don't know
Um,
who's going out there drinking room temperature Gatorade. I
it's
think
not
I could
smart.
agree with you on that one. Yeah.
My number one choice is red. My number two choice is orange. I think blue is fine. I don't dislike it. It's just not my favorite. And then I don't think I've ever had any other color. I don't think I've ever had purple or
Interesting.
green.
Ooh, you're missing out, Sean, because that's green is my favorite. Green apple specifically is
Yeah,
my favorite Gatorade.
you were drinking it once
Really
on the
good.
show, and I think I said like that
It's
that
really good.
cannot be real.
Well,
There's
Sean,
nothing refreshing
for me, the
about green apple.
Gatorade is a sick drink for me. It's a sick person drink. It's
Well,
when
yeah,
I'm sick,
it's electrolytes.
when I'm feeling like garbage. That is when I drink Gatorade. Not really so much when I'm doing work. That's more like I need water. I need to like hydrate.
Mm,
To me, Gatorade isn't like hydrating. It's you get the electrolytes, so you feel
right.
good. Um, I always go with green apple. Then second is the blue ice. I like the blue ice one.
Mm,
Then purple would probably be third on my list.
okay.
Um, Towards the bottom, orange, or red and orange are kind of like lower on my list a little bit
They're a lot. They're
personally.
they're
Yeah,
heavy.
yeah,
They're more fruit juicy to me than
yes,
like
yeah.
than
That's
the
why
others. I like
they're a
that,
little lower.
but I understand why people wouldn't.
I just think the yellow one that I said was going to be the winner. That one I think is just kind of mid.
Yeah.
It's a mid one. You know
Um,
what is
well, you can
highly
spot
underrated though? I had
what?
recently the whiteout Gatorade. Whiteout,
Mm.
it's got like a cherry taste to it. It's like a
Oh,
black cherry, but it's a white color. It's really good. That one actually
well,
might surpass purple.
as we roll into the summer Gatorade season, I might have to try some of these new flavors.
There you
You've
go.
inspired me.
Highly recommend green apple though. That one I think is by
Um,
far the best.
in terms of my pick, I am this year going with history. I'm going to take blue. Um, it's as good a guess as any. And I you have to think yourself, how does the color get chosen in the stadium? There's a guy, a hydration guy, and his job is to pick the color. Does he do it based on what the players like to drink? Does he do it based, like you said, is it based on a team color? It's not, but it could be. Um, and if that guy isn't placing large sums of bets on the color he know it is, he's a moron because I don't think that's technically illegal. Um, and so I think the players must like blue, and that's why blue keeps getting put in the barrels. So why would it be different? So that's my guess.
Yeah, I think in certain situations, in very specific situations, the color might have to match up with the team. I
Well,
don't
but
and
when the
I don't know I would like to know maybe historically, like, because I'm thinking when the Broncos won, was their Super Bowl color, I mean, was their Gatorade color orange? Because I feel like
well,
orange is so endemic to the team. It's so like like part of the team's identity because they're one of the few teams that like if we lived in a universe where the Cleveland Browns could ever win a Super Bowl, we don't. But if we did, I would it would be crazy to me that they would have any other color but orange, but like a orange color. Like
I can at least tell you over the last 10 years, I mean, Eagles in 2018, it was green.
yeah,
Patriots
yeah.
in 2019, it was blue. That makes sense. But then the Chiefs was orange, which I guess is adjacent. But then the Bucks in 2021, it was blue, which couldn't be farther from their
No,
colors.
I think the color for the Bucks is not as if they were wearing their creamsicle jerseys, the throwbacks, and they really made a point that like that was the new jersey, like
Maybe.
to really kind of promote that. Like we'll go back to the Eagles win, right? The Eagles have the green jerseys, they have their green
But
Gatorade. If we lived in a universe where the Jets ever won a Super Bowl, that we don't, but if we lived in a universe where they could, green Gatorade would be if they had anything other than green. So I'm saying in very specific situations, I think the color is designed to match the team. But like a team like the Patriots, it doesn't. I don't think the color matters as much because
well, but
they
what's
could do blue,
interesting to
they could do
me,
red, they could do orange, like more versatile.
yeah. But also in 23 and 24, when the Chiefs won back-to-back Super Bowls, they had purple both years, which isn't a Chiefs color. But it's interesting to me it was the same. And that leads me to the
Mm.
theory of teams have certain taste choices. And so the Chiefs, their guy normally puts purple in there. If anything, I would look back and say, okay, again, Patriots last win in 2019, they had blue in their jug that time. Obviously the Seahawks, I don't have those records going all the way back to when they were in the Super Bowl, but just interesting. So I'm gonna go with blue.
Okay.
We'll see. It's
Yeah.
anyone's guess. Now, Matt, we are at our final picks of the night. The winner, the final score, and the game's MVP. I'm going to have you go first and tell us, Matt, how do you think this game is going to end up?
Well, Sean, there's been a lot of talk about one team having distinct advantages over the other team, about one team playing in a class of titans and gods, and the other team playing amidst the mud against lowly peasants. Um, peasants who, in many cases, were hurt or missing star players. There's been talks of cupcake schedules. There's been talks of fraud, but I don't believe it. See, I think this game is going to be a lot closer than people think. I
Hmm.
don't think this is going to be a as much of a stomping as the talking heads out there are saying. Sure, there is one team that is getting much more favor over the other, but I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be as much of a cakewalk, as they're saying. I think that both of these teams are talented enough to be there. I mean, that's why they're there. I don't think there's any kind of luck, any more than any other year. You have to win every game. You have to you have to be at the top of your class to overcome the odds. That being said, I think this game is going to come down to two specific factors that one team has a slight advantage over the other. Um, and that one was we mentioned before. It's going to be defense. It's going to be a very heavily defensive game, and I think it's going to be a game that's decided by special teams. I think in both cases, the Seattle Seahawks have the edge. I think it's going to be a close game, but I'm giving it to the Seahawks. And I think the final score is going to be something like 21-29. I'm sorry, 21-19. That's my 20. No, you know what? Let's get a little crazy. 22-19.
Oh, that now
22-19.
that's crazy.
Yep, I think it's gonna be Seattle by a field goal. 22-19, or maybe like a little lower than that. No, I said it, so I'm gonna that's what I'm gonna roll with.
Well, we give a margin of
22-19.
error. Like if it
Yeah.
were 21-19, I'd probably give it to you because you're pretty damn close.
Yeah,
Um,
21-19, 22-19, something like that, and I think Sam Darnold gets the MVP. I don't see it going to anybody else, if that's the case.
yeah,
But I could
I
also
would.
see a world where the Patriots win this. I mean, it's not completely not out of the question. So yes,
Well, Matt, great pick. And I agree with a lot of what you said. I do think it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any stretch. The real question for me is on offense. Can these offenses get going? The Patriots the last couple weeks have been slow on offense, a lot of long third downs. Now, weather's played a role. They had two very heavy snow games, so that's definitely a part of it. Can Drake May get back to his regular season form? And on the Seahawks side, can you trust Sam Darnold? We know JSN is great. We know Kenneth Walker is going to do a good job on the ball on the ground. Though, can he do it for a whole game by himself? We'll find out. Will Darnold be seeing ghosts on the field? It all comes down to trust. Now, Matt, I'm from New England. All right. I know a thing or two about clam chowder and lobster. All right. I know a few things about the American Revolution. All right. Been there, done that. Paul Revere rode right by my house. All right. I know a thing or two about New England. And if I've learned anything as a New England Patriots fan who only knows about football from 2000 forward, it's this team can't lose.
as expected. Yes,
They got that championship DNA, all right? And the Seahawks, old man Peyton Manning embarrassed them, all right? And now you're saying where here's the thing. Truthfully, I think the Seahawks are probably going to win. But I got to stand for my Patriots. I got to stand for Drake May, and the team of destiny. No team. Yes, go ahead.
no, I sorry, I don't want to interrupt you cooking, but can we have a side bet?
Okay.
Will over under? We'll say over under 3. Will over under 3.5. Will the how many times the announcers say Drake May May?
Oh, I would way take the under on that. I'd be shocked if they say it once.
They might. That's why I wanted to do it one. I wanted to. All right, wait. We can do it. Will they say it one time?
It's so clumsy for them to say. Now, do I think they'll point the camera of somebody holding a sign that says that? I think that's more likely. But them saying
I have it on my bingo card that he scores a rushing touchdown. So if he scores a rushing touchdown, I could very well see the announcer touchdown Drake May. I think that'll be the only time you hear it though throughout the night.
No way.
Okay.
And I would also be very surprised if he did a rushing touchdown. I'm rooting for you for your bingo card. No, listen, I think this team is too good of a story. And don't get me wrong, Seahawks are a great story. Darnold and McDonald and all of that. They weren't that bad last year. They were not. I mean, they're better, obviously. They weren't that bad. They've actually been decent the last couple of years. The Patriots really sucked. They killed it in the draft. They killed it in free agency. They killed it on their coaching. I just got to go with the team of destiny, Matt. So I am picking the New England Patriots to win your Super Bowl 60 with a score of... It's going to be a tight margin, but I think it's going to be higher score. I think it's going to be higher scoring. I think there's just too much offensive weapons to slow them down, and it's been a high-scoring year all year. So I'm going to give it... let's do a 34-31 score. And the MVP, the MVP thing is so interesting on a team like New England, right? You got to think it's Drake May. Who else would it be? I don't think there's any one defensive player who would go crazy enough in interceptions and stuff to warrant that. I guess it could be Ramondre Stevenson if they go. I'm going to take the safe route and go May.
Stevenson would have to explode. He would have to explode on the ground attack to get the MVP.
But running backs have won.
They have one, but it would have to be like Saquon Barkley levels of destruction.
Well,
I think May is the safest bet and the surest bet if New England wins.
so I'm ranking here. If you go by passing yards allowed, the New England Patriots is the ninth ranked defense, Seattle Seahawks the 10th. If you go by rushing yards allowed, the Seahawks are third and New England is sixth. So they're both pretty good both ways. The Seahawks are darn good against the run. So interesting. Well, Matt, those are our Super Bowl prop bets. We got a lot of them here. We're going to be watching it. If you want to get on the text thread and get live updates, the ones I sent to Matt, I'll also send them to you. Email us for debatetv@gmail.com. And
It's pretty
happy
cool.
to
It, it
include you on
makes
the thread.
it definitely adds some flavor to the big game. It's part of my tradition is just looking at my phone and awaiting your text updates. Whether or not we as we go through a bet as a bet is closed or settled, looking at who won it. It's a fun part of the night.
It will be interesting. Very excited about that. And we're going to come back next time with the results. We're going to talk about our thoughts on the game and the halftime show and the commercials and the whole thing. And we will reveal who won right here on the program. Matt, I'm going to leave you with this thought. Every year we post who we think is going to win next year's Super Bowl. Do you remember who you picked after the Unfortunately, who was that?
So I don't. These are the teams I think I picked. Again, it was a year ago, so who knows? And
Yeah.
I actually put like a real bet on this. It was
Oh
like a
no.
it was a $5 bet, but it would have got me like 200 if it had hit, and it didn't. And I think that I believe the two teams were the Bills and the Eagles. Is that true? Buffalo, was it a Buffalo Philly Super Bowl?
No, it was Eagles Ravens you had.
Oh, dang. Okay. Eagles Ravens. Okay, that was then
Yeah.
it still didn't hit. That was even worse because the Ravens had a terrible year.
Well, I want to point out, Matt, do you know because we picked for some reason, we picked the final four teams, like who would play in the championship, the AFC NFC championship. You had Eagles Commanders and Ravens Chargers.
And it's fun. It's really funny that besides the Eagles, the Chargers were the only team that made it to the playoffs
Yeah.
of those four. Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah, so
And by the way,
great.
I am not any better. I had the Buccaneers winning the Super Bowl, which is even stupider. And then my other final four was Bucks Bears and Bengals Broncos. And I'll take credit for the Broncos. They're the only one of our 8 teams who actually made the conference championship. So
Yeah, chance.
Yeah. So remember that when we're picking our wins next week and we don't win any of them. But we appreciate all of you guys joining us for this episode. As always, upfordebate.tv is our website. Go there, you get all the past episodes, and subscribe wherever you get podcasts. Look for Up for Debate, that big purple square, or the video version is on YouTube. You can subscribe there as well and get new episodes when they go live. I mentioned the email address, upfordebatetv@gmail.com. Email us there for your thoughts, comments, opinions, and what have you. I, of course, got to mention Matt has his own show. Y'all should check it out. Tomorrow is canceled. Now available wherever you get podcasts. Great episodes. Had some fun stuff wrapping up last year. Excited for what you guys. Anything on the horizon coming up?
Yeah, we're gonna be recording very soon. I think after the Super Bowl, well, once everything's kind of settled in. Not a whole lot of new. This is a very dry period for video games. This first month or so of the year. Big releases don't start up again until like February. So then we talk about the big releases from like February things. Our last episode we kind of talked about things we're looking forward to. Recapped our favorite moments from last year. So stay tuned. We're also going to be doing another book episode coming up pretty soon. We are all going to be reading it's like a D&D just in time for Valentine's Day. We're going to be reading a D&D romance novel.
Wow, that is a must listen.
The folks at Critical Role. Yeah, if you want to enjoy that, that should be coming up pretty soon. And it's not even on our not even locked behind a Patreon wall. That's free and available for everybody to listen to. So
That is
uh,
absolutely wild. No, I'm going to be your first listen on that. I'm damn excited. And of course, twitch.tv/tomorrow's canceled pod for some game streams, Matt, that you host playing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which I think has been a lot of fun. We're cruising towards the end of that one. We're getting there, but
we actually,
it's
yeah,
been
I was
great.
kind of looking at it. I think we probably have like maybe two sessions to go, and then we probably will wrap on indie. But it's been fun, yeah.
And
What
then
have
I
you been?
believe
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
what are your
I've been enjoying it.
thoughts
I
on
think
that?
it's been a fun game. I think it's just long. It's
Yeah,
not the kind of game I normally watch. That's the thing.
it's very
And so
cinematic.
it looks great. It
Yeah,
sounds great. Like it does feel like a movie. I will say I tend to multitask whenever I watch Twitch, whether it's you or somebody else, and more listen than look. This of all the games you played, I have most like put the phone down and looked at the screen because it looks good. So that's great. I have enjoyed that. I just think it is I guess I'm just a jaded adult and I'm like, well, that's stupid. That wouldn't happen. Or like
yeah.
he'd be dead if that happened. Like I just can't. There's no suspension of disbelief on my part.
I didn't
So
realize how completely violent it was. Like, this is my second playthrough. I'm like, wow, Indy
oh,
like
you
kills
have
people.
killed 100 people. Now, to be fair,
Yes.
90% of them were Nazis, but still,
Yeah,
it's a
and
lot.
in the films, I mean, there are moments where he, does take out his gun and shoot, but it's
But
like
you
not
also just
the
like
levels, the body count
you
is
punch
high.
people to death, like
Yeah.
or hit them with a shovel. Like it's a lot. But it is
The
good fun. So
violence is extreme.
twitch.tv/tomorrow's cancel pod. Hit that follow button, get an announcement when Matt goes live. That's been great. So thank you, Matt. But we've got to wrap it up here. So thanks everybody for joining us. On behalf of Matt, I'm Sean. We appreciate you being here. We'll see you after the big game on another Up for Debate.